recorded. I forgot what today is, but I feel like I hit a jackpot. Number one, I've been in business 23 years, and I've seen everything from brain cancer to bipolar to epilepsy to schizophrenia, all healed. But this is the first time in history that I met a boy who in 1 month's time has a dramatic improvement. It's Tommy, her son. When I first met him, I would say the first 3 weeks, he was in a stroller. Yeah,
medical stroller.
A medical stroller. And basically, I don't know whether I could do it, but the first time I met him, he was like this. I mean, he couldn't even, like, his whole being was almost like a zombie. And then his mother began switching his diet. You want to talk about it? This is Michelle, by the way.
Well, he had 4 illnesses in April, just one after the other. He's had a long history of medical illnesses. But in April, he had pneumonia, RSV, metapneumovirus, and C. diff, one right after the other, and it caused increased seizures. When Arnold met him, just like he said, he was totally unresponsive. He had basically one word that he would say, which was bus. And
right. He was like a zombie.
Yeah, he was. Very low energy. Yeah, his color was really bad. You could just see by looking at him that he was just not healthy.
Right.
And so now it's like a different kid.
Different kid. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. He's
he's
running
slowly
around.
switching his diet.
Yeah, I switched out. One thing that I changed was this formula. Now, he was prescribed this formula for food allergies and also so that he could have nutrition through his feeding tube.
Why don't you just read the ingredients, the first ingredients?
Corn syrup solids.
Corn syrup is the first ingredient, which is 56%.
Yeah.
And this is prescribed by a doctor.
Yeah, also aspartame.
Aspartame.
Yeah. And it's complete nutrition. He did for a time only have this. This was his total nutrition. When we started the ketogenic diet, which is a very high-fat, adequate protein, low-carb, exceedingly low-carb diet for the treatment of seizures that are drug-resistant in children. When we started that, when I gave him a G-tube meal, I would use this as the carb, and I would use something called microlipids as the fat, which is safflower oil and soy lecithin and water. And for the protein, it's all processed, yeah. So really, literally months went by when he didn't have any fresh foods at all. And so now I've just been trying to troubleshoot and see, well, what can I do to help? So some small changes that I made was I replaced this with real fruit. Replaced the microlipids with coconut oil. I've been just incorporating more real foods into his diet. We've lowered the fat ratio. Everything with that diet is medically supervised because it is very dangerous to change the ratios by yourself or to go off the diet by yourself.
Right, right. So you have to work with your doctor.
You have to work through the doctor,
but you did another step. You changed doctors there too.
I did. I changed all of his doctors.
You changed all the doctors.
Everyone except his pediatrician.
They weren't working.
No, I saw him getting worse and getting sicker. And we had a period of time where he was having these drop seizures. He has 4 different types of seizures. One of them where he would just fall to the floor, and on Memorial Day he landed on his teeth and he fractured his teeth above the gum. And they had to be pulled. That was another round of antibiotics. The first round wasn't successful. Another round of antibiotics. So he was on antibiotics treatment for about 2 months, the C. diff and then the teeth getting infected, and just overall very poor health.
Right, but now I can't believe him. I saw him walking around, he was smiling, he was happy. I said, what happened?
Yeah.
And just not into a whole lot, but just added more fruit into the diet.
Yes.
And the goal is more. I would like more fruit, and that would be my goal.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Would you tell me more about C. diff and RSV?
Yeah, so RSV is basically, in most kids, would be a bad cold that would take a little longer to get over. For Tommy, it put him in the hospital for a week, and it went right to his lungs. And the C. diff is, I believe, was either he caught it in the hospital or it was from taking amoxicillin for the pneumonia, and it upset his balance of his gut flora. And but whatever, it was just like an intestinal thing. Gave him a lot of diarrhea, very painful. Really, just zapped his energy. Like Arnold said, he was not even responsive.
It seems like now he's on his way.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it. And he was like moving around. Oh my gosh.
He was. He says, Arnold, Arnold. And he makes his little jokes when he comes in here. He looks at the bananas and he goes, apple. And he looks at the apples and he says, nana. And it's really funny.
And Diane, well, you're a graduate of our 30-day program.
I am. I did the 30-day challenge. I have several diagnoses. I've been diagnosed bipolar. I've been diagnosed. At one point, I was diagnosed borderline. At one point, I was diagnosed personality disorder not otherwise specified. Various addictions. The latest event was cardiac arrest, kidney failure, respiratory failure.
You were sick.
The word, yeah, seizures. Not seizures, mini strokes.
Mini strokes. It's almost
Mini strokes.
similar.
Yeah. What I noticed, when I woke up from that event, I raged and I raged and I raged and I raged and I raged. And what I noticed was that when I switched my diet, and I was eating as well as I could for what I was given in the hospital and then in the nursing home. I was making the best food choices I could given what I was permitted to eat. But I noticed that when I switched to raw foods and began acupuncture, the symptoms that I'm having with the mental illnesses began to resolve themselves. The rage went away. Now I have to maintain the diet and keep it in check, but I am working with my psychiatrist to reduce meds, communicating honestly.
And you're reducing the meds?
Reducing the meds. I was able to come off Neurontin. I was able to come off Ativan. I was able to come off Voltram. I was able to come off, they are reducing something called trileptal, which there's something, no prolonged sun exposure. So I'm going to begin reducing that medication and maintain the diet.
It's because you came in, you were really, almost, not like a zombie, but you're just out of it also.
Yeah.
And that's what happens when you're over-medicated,
Yeah, some of those drugs I can really relate to because they're also anti-seizure drugs. Trileptal is a anti-seizure drug used in children.
Wow.
We've tried Depakote. There's overlap. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Tommy's off them, and he's still on them.
No, he's still on them. He's on 3 anti-seizure drugs.
Right.
The diet is not nutritionally sound, so he takes a lot of supplements, calcium, a multivite, vitamin D, salt supplement, and so this is really going to be a big overhaul for us. It's going to be a big change.
I'm really glad you're here.
Me too.
Anyway, this is Live from Arnold's Way. Bye.
Bye.